Good evening and welcome to the May 18th, 2016 meeting of the Gaithersburg Planning Commission. First up tonight is the approval of our minutes from May 4th, and I will note that Alternate Commissioner Wessel and Commissioner Winborn, I think, were not there tonight. That night, is that right?
Yes,
okay,
correct.
So, is there a motion for those minutes, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes of May 4, 2016 as read into the record.
Second. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And there would be one
Abstain.
abstain. Okay, so that'll be 401. Next up is record plats, and we have one tonight. Is that right?
Yes, we do. It's RP 7252-2016, and this is Plat 31 of Watkins Mill Town Center. This is the subdivision that was taking an outlot and adding it to that one lot that near the Devlin property.
Sure, okay.
And it's been reviewed by all the agencies and ready for your approval.
Very good. Any questions? All right. Is there a motion on the record plat agenda, please?
I move that we approve the record plat RP 7252-2016 as written in the record.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Next up is our consent agenda, and we have one item tonight, and that's AFP-7300-2016 Target signage at 25 Grand Corner Avenue in the MXD zone. And this is for additional signage for Target. And it's amendment to final plan, and again, it's a consent item. Is there any questions for staff on the consent agenda?
None.
If not, is there a motion, please?
Move the consent agenda approval is read into the record by the chair.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. And that takes us to our site plan agenda for this evening, and there is one, AFP-7273-2016, the Quince Orchard Park Clubhouse at 515 Highland Ridge Drive in the MXD zone. And this is to expand the existing fitness room and to amend the final site plan. And presenting from staff is Trudy Shores. Good evening, Trudy.
Good evening. I'm pinch hitting for Jasmine Forbes, who did a great job preparing this application and working with the applicant.
All right, great, thank you.
As stated, we're here for the amendment to final site plan for AFP 7273-2016. The subject property is at, whoops, that was a little fast.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah. It is 515 Highland Ridge Avenue, which is in the center of the Quince Orchard Park subdivision, and it serves as their clubhouse. They are here representing Quince Orchard Park Community Association to construct a 782 square foot addition to the existing clubhouse. The existing clubhouse was approved as part of final site plan S1044 in 1995. And the application comes before the Planning Commission in accordance with sections 24-172A and 24-168, which requires the Planning Commission to grant amendments to approved final site plans. Tonight we have Vishal Gupta from SNG Engineering to present the application.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, thank you. Good evening, Commissioner. Thank you, Trudy. We have had a pleasure working with Jasmine and Trudy on the application. Our first slide that we have, you saw the previous one, which showed the location of the building. Our second slide in the blue box will show you where the proposed addition is joining the left side of the clubhouse and is an expansion of the existing fitness room. And what we're going to do is the red line that's going into the addition, which we'll see on another slide, will be removed. That wall's going to be removed, so they'll have a nice clear span fitness room to accommodate, you know, the exercise equipment and needs of the community. Yeah. So here we have the front elevation of the clubhouse, and we're going to be affecting the left side and going straight out. We'll see on the next slides. Here is again from the front, but the side that we're particularly affecting. So basically between the side of the building and the sidewalk, yeah, there you go. And the sidewalk that you're seeing here on this side, the addition will pretty much stretch across here and go straight back to this existing retaining wall there in the rear. So just occupying the area that is already free on the side up to the existing sidewalk. Here is we're facing the side of the building which will be coming toward us, again up to this sidewalk edge, and then coming straight out to the front of the building, meeting so from here all the way back, and then going flush into the back wall. Here's a rear elevation of the building as it stands, and our addition will be again starting from this corner, going out past the existing retaining wall coming toward the back to the sidewalk. And what we're going to do, and we'll see it in a few more slides, but basically this roof line is going to be now maintained coming straight out and then going back down, and keeping the existing building's architectural characteristics, as we'll see in some of the renderings that we have for you tonight. This is just a little more detailed site plan. So the main thing here is that this is the existing building line, and we will be removing this wall and then creating this new room here. And all the entrances and ADA bathrooms and access will be maintained. This slide will be helpful in just understanding how we are going to be working with the roof. So right here, we're going to be demoing this section of the roof and then bringing it out in the same fashion, basically just pushing it over to the side. And these are what we're doing from the different angles. And here we have some more colorful renderings for you. This is the existing front elevation, and as we can see in 2A3, we have the elevation showing with the proposed addition on the side of the room. So basically, that's coming right from here and just adding that 17 feet out towards the sidewalk. And in the rear, you can see from right here, this is where we will be. So this is the 6A3. You can see the addition on the side, going right up to the sidewalk and the existing curb and gutter in the parking lot. And that is our brief presentation for you for the expansion of the fitness room at the Quince Orchard Park Clubhouse. Thank you.
Any questions?
One minor question. Just on that 4A3 elevation. Oh, yeah. On the 4A3 elevation, the little OCD on my part, but the vent is not centered on over the windows or in the roof line. I'm sure it's an oversight.
Yeah, the vent is not centered, and I can get clarification if what's happening now is. Go ahead. Would you like that? No. So there's the vent that was over the existing door. Now that we're increasing this width,
I think it's
yeah,
symmetrical.
yeah, we'll probably make sure.
It
we're not
looked
changing
like
that
a
vent
mistake.
actually.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to be changing that vent. It will stay.
No, it's
the
the
way
no,
it
it's
was.
the
new
new
wing.
wing.
It's the new wing.
The new
We have-
wing. So
Oh, the new
changing, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
We'll
all the
fix it.
characteristics
So
there.
put it in the middle.
Yeah, put it.
You got it. Thank
That's
you.
all.
I like funkiness, though. I like
Good.
funky.
Good
That's not funky
observation.
enough.
Any other questions on the application?
No.
Is there anyone in the audience here to comment? Or just watching? Okay.
Behind us
Yes.
is the management group who manage the property, Mr. Patel, and the board president. Yeah, board president.
Okay. Did you want to have any comment on this, or you just here for the?
If you guys don't have any questions,
Okay.
the idea of it is really to serve the needs of the community, so thank you.
Come to the microphone.
See, you went too far. You actually.
He actually said
something. If you just said no.
No, just thank you very much for the consideration. The real idea here is the exercise room is the one amenity that is used year-round by our community residents.
Sure.
So some of you might remember the whole Vistas development and
Yeah.
some of the funding. This is what we decided to do with that.
Could you identify yourself just for the record?
Yes,
please?
sure. For the record, I'm Troy Kennedy, Quince Orchard Park Association President. And just one other little thing, I happened to notice the address is a little bit wrong on the application. It's actually 500 Highland Ridge, not 515.
Rudy, can you answer that?
Well, glad you spoke up.
The records are.
We just approved an addition to your neighbor's house.
We're going to have to check on that because our records show it as
Show it as
that number.
515?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We've always known it as 500, so maybe something's wrong.
The address change we had to make on the
Right.
recommendation of the
That's
city of
fine.
Gaithersburg.
Oh,
So I think they can reconcile.
Trudy
On the
knows.
clubhouse, it says 500.
Staff will figure it out.
Right.
Make it a condition.
I think it's because it's on the odd side of the road,
Make it a
but we'll
condition.
double check.
Yeah, whatever it is, just let us know, we'll change the number.
Okay.
Or move the building, it's gonna be. Okay, any comment on the application, concerns? No?
Looks great.
Everybody happy with that? I'm glad to see the neighborhood thriving and looking to do an addition for the amenities, that's always a good sign.
It's great. Yeah.
All right, if there's nothing further, Trudy, what is the recommendation, please?
Staff recommends that the Planning Commission, based on the exhibits submitted, the applicant's testimony, and the staff report's findings and recommendations, grant AFP 7273-2016, Quince Orchard Park Community Association Clubhouse Edition, finding it in compliance with 24-170 and 24-172A of the City Code, with the one condition listed in the staff report.
All right.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is there any concern that the accessibility is going to be a problem, or it's just to make sure that it...
Just to make sure, this condition came from our Public Works Department. They just want to, make sure it's one of those things where you really have to be out in the field to make the final
Okay,
decision.
but no real concerns from staff, just
No.
to make sure it's caught. Okay, great. Any questions about the recommendation?
No, I just like them being proactive, that just the department. I think that is a very proactive thing. I know things changed in 92, this was 95, but to just check what doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Great. All right. Is there a motion, please?
Okay, finding it in, based on the exhibit submitted, the applicant's testimony, and the staff report, findings and recommendations, I move that we grant AFP 7273-2016, Quince Orchard Park Community Association Clubhouse Edition, final amendment to final plan, finding it in compliance with sections 24-170 and 24-172A of the City Code, with the one condition read into the record.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that passes unanimously? Did I hear all ayes? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for bringing
Thank you
those.
very much.
All right, that takes us to, from the commission, Phil, can I start with you, please?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Ruth Sally? All right. Danny?
See everybody at the Gaithersburg Book Festival. I'll be there.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Rain or rain?
Rain or rain.
Liquid sunshine or regular old sunshine.
Very good. Lloyd, anything?
Nothing else.
Matt?
Yeah, just a reminder that something like the book festival is a great sort of study for those of us doing planning or interested in planning. And if you're watching this, you got to be really interested in planning. So I think it's a great thing to come and look at, to see a civic use of an alternate public space. We're not setting aside a field somewhere and utilizing that programmatically. This is actually the parking lot for an existing, Monday through Friday use, and now we're reusing it for.
That's a good point.
It's a great planning piece, and just a great example of how we use spaces 2 or 3 times. It's just a great.
It is. It's an extraordinary event, and I have every faith that even in pouring rain and wailing winds, people will be there and
Get people in the tents.
supporting the the tents are strong. So don't let the little bit of weather scare
Pouring
you.
rain and wailing. That sounds like the title of a book.
I'm working on it. I'll be speaking at 3:30.
And they'll do scary nights.
Reading from my one paragraph.
They will do some events inside City Hall if it's that bad with the wailing wind and all of that too.
Sure. All right. Good. And I had one other question, I guess, for staff. I know there's been some work going on, and it's reaching, I think, a certain milestone, and it's the CPSC site redevelopment. And I was curious if there was a way we could, I believe the ad hoc committee meets the same time we do, so it's a little difficult to look in and see what's going on with it. But is there a way we might be able to get an update on that? And
Well, what the next step for the committee is to give a presentation to the mayor and city council.
Okay, when is that?
I don't know the exact schedule.
We'll find out.
Let us
Yeah.
know, then we could attend that meeting or.
I thought that was coming up.
It
They
is,
have,
That's
they
not
have
too
the open
far
house at
from
the
that.
site is.
right, there's an open
scheduled.
house, I believe, in June
Okay,
on the site, which, so they're interested in comments, and we just got that was in the SLT. If we
Okay.
wait a minute, if
Okay.
Marty can talk
Sure.
long enough, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out. But-
all right. Yeah, but I would encourage, I think it's a really an interesting reuse of a site, very, very unique site. So to the extent you all might have some time to peek in on the progress, I'd recommend we do that. It's pretty exciting. So Marty, you want to jump in on anything? Or?
Yeah, so if the Planning Commission will allow me, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the planning awards.
Good.
We had sent out a draft of some forms, albeit a little bit tardy, as has been regular with this project. That was my fault, not staff's. But got some good comments from Commissioner Wessel about changing the economic development criteria to contribution to local economic development, which I thought was a great addition to that criteria. But other than that, didn't get a whole lot of comments, and I know there were some that wanted to discuss it tonight. So we'll, if we can come to some consensus or get some changes tonight, our original timeline had a little bit of fluff built into this early part, and so I think we can still keep it on track if we can get the nominating process open in the next week or two. That gives us time to arrange for the media, the Twitter feed and those types of things, and then keep to our regular schedule, which will terminate in late September. So.
Yeah, I think my attitude was I thought it was a well put together packet, and Phil's comment about the economic development was dead on. The only comment I would have is that I liked, and I just want to make sure everybody agrees, or if they don't, we move it the right way. I like the generally loose and not particularly detailed form of it, so we can see how things come in, and it's not too intimidating to I think the average person to make a nomination and get involved. So I think that's a good thing. Sometimes I know competitions or nominations for awards like this can get a little bit onerous for the application process. So it's good to keep it, I think, light.
The idea is that we really want to now, based on what kind of applications we get in this year, we may tweak this a little bit for coming years. I know there was a question on this form that Jasmine had included. Will there be a fee? I am not proposing that there be a fee for this. No. And our idea was to get as many applications as we can. We will then be coming up with some grading criteria that we can use for a first round to shortlist some things, and then a more formal criteria, probably based on these criteria here with just a numeric scaling, so that we have some organization with when we get to reviewing these applications. But
and I assume when you're ready to go live with the application, you can fill in the dates on when things are due.
Yeah,
the only other suggestion I was going to make was there's a part in it about who's making the nomination and what something about that. What their relationship is to the project, whether they're just a fan, a citizen, or if they're actually part of the development committee. And then also if we can be, and they may not be able to do this if it's just a citizen seeing a project they like, but at least try to capture who the, for lack of a better term, owner is. And I'm not entirely sure how we phrase that, but.
Well, we have the other people to be recognized or something like that.
Yeah, and maybe this will help with this question. What the intent was is that when we get these applications in, staff will do a little bit of a paragraph or two on the information that we have on the project.
So we can capture it that way.
And we will list the actual owner of the property.
Okay.
Oftentimes, it may be, for example, a nonprofit that this person wants to recognize, but however, the actual owner of the property is in California or something, who knows. Right. We want to make sure to capture that so that, that all involved are recognized. So we didn't want to go, to your point earlier, Mr. Chair, we didn't want to go too far in depth of having them go out and have to do a bunch of research to find out who,
Good.
you know, we'd rather get the information in here, and then if, you know,
And then maybe
we'll
they'll bring it
compile
up to
that.
us to look at, I can include it. So I guess the only thing would be just to clarify who the nominator, who's making the nomination? What their relationship is to the project in some form.
I guess the only other thing is that I just want to make sure that the email I sent with comments on the criteria actually reworded all but one of them. Just looking at it from, I went around, I spent 15 minutes going around looking at APA award criteria and AIA award criteria and all the different similar related sort of things, and just making sure that we phrase the criteria in a way that we're clear on actually what we want people to demonstrate.
So maybe it's worth, real quick, just going over the existing and new wording, because I think
Sure.
they were really good.
Yeah, sure.
The first criteria we had listed as environmental and sustainability, and that was suggested to be changed to environmentally conscious and sustainable design. So I thought that was good. Transportation and pedestrian accessibility remained the same. The next one was innovation and design is how we had it listed, and that was suggested to be changed to innovation in design. That would change a little bit of the of what our original, and not that I'm.
I guess my thought is every project has design. I mean, if it's designed. So, what are we looking for innovation in? I mean, we're looking for innovative design, and there may be a different way to phrase it. I sort of juggle back and forth with wording.
Yeah, I think what you've got is good.
Good.
And the next one was, we just had as compatibility, and that was drilled in a little bit more in
I think
saying,
that'll be good. I think Phil's clarification will be good for most people that'll be reading this to understand what that means.
Sure, yeah. And the suggestion for compatibility was to change that to compatibility with the surrounding community, and I thought that was great.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's great.
And of course, the economic development.
It was changed from just economic development to contribution to local economic development, and I think that's perfect.
I went back and forth with about 6 different things that I'm trying to figure out what says what we wanted to say, so feel free to.
Yeah.
That's good. And we'll see how it takes. We'll see if there's questions and.
Yeah.
Good.
I did zero research on it, but somewhere in the.
Do you have an opinion?
Well, I meant to go to one of the elements, or maybe the start of our master plan elements, and I'm sure that there's a 5-6 pointer in there too, and so maybe that might inform the language or not. But if we've already sort of have a Gaithersburg, counts kind of version of the master plan language, you might find a 7th item. You might.
We'll double check
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
This looks great. Let's get it rolling.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can get out of this, and I think it'll be good for the city.
Yep.
Great. Thank you, Marty.
Great.
And
That's
thanks,
all.
Jasmine,
That's
too.
all I've got.
Thank Jasmine for
Yeah.
pulling that together for us. All right.
Okay.
Trudy.
The members of the Ad hoc Advisory Committee for the CPSC site are finalizing their proposed plans, and they're having an open house to solicit public input on Wednesday, June 8th. That is not one of our meetings.
So we're meeting on the 1st, I guess.
We're meeting on the 1st.
Yeah.
And it starts at 6:30, and there will be a formal presentation at 7 p.m.
Activities now?
Yeah, and then on July the 25th, thank you, City Attorney Johnson,
June 20th.
July 25th,
Okay.
it will be, they will be meeting with, giving a presentation to the mayor and city council.
So pencil in the open house. It might be good if we.
We'll put that on
put
the
our note in there.
schedule.
Yeah,
We'll have
thank you.
Miriam put that on the schedule for you.
But you said that open house is at the activity center, or is at the
No,
site?
it's at the site.
Oh, it's at the site. Okay.
So you'll
July 25th.
get to see the site
Yeah,
live.
that would be great.
Yeah.
No, the 8th.
Oh, that's the 8th, okay, not the 25th.
The 25th is
25th
here.
is a hearing
Yeah.
here, okay.
Yeah, that's a Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused.
Do you want us to put that on the schedule too, just to the 25th?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. All right.
Okay, and speaking of schedules.
Yes.
As mentioned, our
We'll be
next
back.
meeting is June 1st, and the one after that is June 15th. We have met with a few applicants, and we do foresee some schematic development plan applications in the very near future. So we'll be polling you for times. with
Public
that.
hearings, okay. Thank you, Trudy.
Mr. Chair, maybe
Yeah.
if I just might add one thing of interest to the commission. We did meet with the developers of the Crown
Mhm.
development and have resolved some issues that we've been dealing with for some months. So we do expect Neighborhood 3 and Neighborhood 5 to start moving forward.
Okay.
So,
And one other,
This is a highly, I'm sorry, what?
when you're finished.
On Crown, just one thing to check, I meant to mention during from the commission. And this is getting a little close, I apologize, but you know, when we looked at the site plans initially for, especially the commercial center of it all, we had conversations about how to do intersections in a way that were traffic calming and were pedestrian friendly and all. And I'm not seeing that in the final lift of paving over there, but I don't know if there's another phase where they're gonna come back and cut in some things, so. Oh, you're looking knowingly.
Yes. Well, I'm knowingly of the issue, not of how it's going to be resolved.
Okay, all right.
There is on the approved plans quite an intricate intersection
pathway,
design.
yeah.
That due to the materials called out in that original design, the materials called out were of different depths, and so they are having a hard time figuring out how to actually construct what they designed. So they're
Really?
coming back to us with alternate materials. So
They got the roads in there pretty well, they can figure it out.
we are still working on that. The part of the problem, to be honest, is how we shut that intersection down for some time to, you know, and it's a little bit of a lesson in you know, when something is successful, it's hard to now close it off and
Yeah.
and
Okay.
try to
That's
do that. So we're working on some solutions.
I think that the bigger issue is that we had a vision through both the design guideline for the whole development and I think specific details in the approved plans to be far more overt about pedestrian pathways and connections and favor that over just throughway
Just
traffic.
cars,
And
right.
I'm beginning to sense a little bit of a conflict there now that things are open and it's getting busy. Getting busy is a great thing,
Yeah.
so make no mistake, it's not a complaint, it's more of a...
And I would just remind you that you do have multiple additional things yet to be approved in Crown that will come in front of this body. So I think you know, those comments are
Okay.
able to be made right to the developer at some point in the future. I will mention, and Trudy, I don't know the date exactly, but we did get notified of the open house for their community center in Crown, and it's a really cool
It's a nice little
facility.
building,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and so it's out there. I want to say I think I got notification from outside the city. I don't know exactly where I found it, but we'll try and get that date to you
Okay.
too if you're interested in going, and be a good opportunity to tour and see
Sure.
what they got planned, and they probably will have some other neighborhood
How's Fields Road
information.
coming? Are we gonna see an end to that anytime soon?
That is County Road.
Yeah?
I'm not,
Is this it?
I'm not aware of their.
I think
of
it
their
may be
schedule,
tomorrow.
so.
I think this is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the retreat, Crown's exclusive community clubhouse, Thursday, May 19th at 4 p.m.
Okay.
for a ribbon cutting and
It's
an open
tomorrow.
house. Yep.
Yes.
The weather's supposed to be beautiful.
Will staff be there?
Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, at 4 p.m. now. Probably it'll start raining around 4:30 to 6:30. You might be okay. You might be okay.
Sounds good. Okay, anything else from, oh, Trudy, sure.
Just wanted you to know, on Monday night, the mayor and council approved the annexation of the Potomac Valley Shopping Center South.
Oh, okay.
And they also approved the text amendment on the E1 and E2 zones for the height.
Okay.
And
Making progress.
Mr. Chair, just to ping
But
pong
wait,
back and
there's
forth.
more.
There's more. This is the most important. We saved the best for last.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let the Planning Commission know that Greg Mann did pass his AICP as American Institute of Certified
congratulations.
Planner.
Oh,
So
good for him.
he is a certified planner. So next time you see him, he'll be even better than he was before.
At least on paper.
He's celebrating. He's celebrating with a week at the rainy beach.
All
So.
right. Well, offer our congratulations
Yes.
to him, please.
Yeah, that is a process for them to go through
So
and
what called
test and
Mr.
everything
Man.
else.
Yeah. Anything else? All right. If not, we're adjourned. Have a good evening.
but we clung